You've been told that success, wealth, and happiness are the ultimate goals in life. But what if everything you've been chasing was only a distraction? There's a deeper truth, one that can transform your life completely. In a world that constantly measures success by wealth, status, and external accomplishments, we often overlook a vital ingredient to a truly fulfilled life. Viktor Frankl, a man who survived the horrors of the Holocaust and emerged with an understanding of life that few have ever grasped, discovered that the true key to enduring life's greatest challenges lies not in what we have or where we go, but in why we are here. In this video, we'll uncover Frankl's timeless wisdom on finding purpose and meaning, and how these insights can unlock the deepest fulfillment you've ever known. You might have everything that society tells you should bring happiness: a comfortable home, a successful career, and recognition from others. But even with all of this, there's still a void, a feeling that something is missing. Despite the outward success, a deep sense of meaning eludes you. Why do so many people with so much still feel lost? The modern world has conditioned us to believe that material success is synonymous with fulfillment. We live in a society that praises achievement, but often neglects what truly sustains us: a deeper sense of purpose and meaning. Frankl's journey through the darkest corners of human suffering revealed something that changed his life, and it can change yours too. To truly grasp Viktor Frankl's insights, it is essential to understand the profound depths of his own suffering. Frankl, a Jewish psychiatrist, found himself imprisoned in Nazi concentration camps during World War II, a man surrounded by the horror and death that claimed millions. In those camps, Frankl's world was reduced to suffering, deprivation, and despair. Yet, it was during these unimaginable circumstances that Frankl uncovered the truth about human resilience and meaning that would ultimately reshape psychology. The majority of people who entered the concentration camps had their basic rights stripped from them, including the right to hope to make choices and even to control their destiny. In such a situation, Frankl watched as people fell into despair, giving up entirely once they lost a sense of purpose. Those who survived were not the ones who were physically stronger or better equipped. They were the ones who found meaning, no matter how small, in their existence. The survivors clung to some sense of future purpose, whether that was the hope of reuniting with loved ones, a religious belief, or even the desire to see the end of the war. Frankl himself managed to endure by constantly focusing on the idea that he would somehow survive and finish his work on the psychological aspects of human suffering. He found that, even in a concentration camp, one's attitude could be a form of freedom. Frankl realized that our circumstances, however dire, do not define us. Our ability to find meaning within them is what truly matters. Out of his experiences in the concentration camps, Frankl developed his groundbreaking theory called Logotherapy. This approach to therapy is based on the idea that the primary motivation of human beings is not the pursuit of pleasure, as Freud suggested, or power, as Adler proposed, but the quest for meaning. Frankl argued that a life without meaning is a life devoid of purpose. And it's this lack of meaning that often leads people to despair, depression, and anxiety. While most therapeutic methods focus on alleviating pain or seeking pleasure, logotherapy looks to help individuals discover what is truly meaningful to them. Frankl emphasized that life can have meaning even in the most challenging circumstances. In his view, it is not circumstances that matter most, but how we respond to them. Logotherapy is based on three main principles: freedom of choice. We always have the ability to choose how we respond to any situation. Even in the worst of times, we retain the power to choose our attitude. The will to meaning. The fundamental motivation for human beings is the search for meaning. This search is universal, transcending culture, religion, and social status, the meaning of suffering. Frankl believed that suffering is an unavoidable part of life, but it is not necessarily destructive. Instead, suffering can be an opportunity to find meaning. If we approach our suffering with the right mindset, it can reveal profound truths about ourselves and our purpose. One of Frankl's most profound contributions to psychology was his concept of the existential vacuum, the feeling of emptiness and meaninglessness that so many people experience, especially in the modern world. Frankl observed that many people in contemporary society struggle with a sense of boredom or emptiness, even when they appear to have everything they could want. In his writings, Frankl explored the way modern life often leads people to feel disconnected from their true selves, leading them to look for meaning in superficial ways. Whether through consumerism, social media, or other distractions, many people are unaware that they are seeking external validation rather than inner fulfillment. The existential vacuum is an increasingly common condition in our fast-paced, achievement-oriented world. People seek meaning in wealth, status, or pleasure, but none of these external markers of success are truly fulfilling. They are like temporary band-aids that mask the deeper need for purpose. Frankl's work forces us to confront this existential vacuum and consider the emptiness we may feel despite having material success. What's missing is the deeper connection to meaning itself, which Frankl argues can only be found within. A key component of Frankl's philosophy is the idea that we always have the freedom to choose how we respond to our circumstances. Even when life seems beyond our control, we can choose our attitude. This might sound simple, but it's one of the most profound aspects of Frankl's philosophy. Frankl did not believe that we are passive victims of life's circumstances. We can actively choose how to engage with life, even in the most challenging moments. In concentration camps, Frankl noticed that it was often those who had the courage to choose their response to suffering who survived. They could find meaning in their suffering, in their choices, or in their relationships. This ability to choose one's attitude, to find purpose in the most difficult situations, is at the heart of Frankl's belief in human dignity. It's an empowering realization. No matter how powerless we might feel in a given moment, we are never entirely powerless in how we respond. This principle applies to everyone. Even when we are not in a dire situation, we have the ability to find meaning in our everyday choices. Whether it's how we approach our job, how we treat others, or how we navigate challenges, we always have a choice in how we respond. Frankl's view on suffering is both empowering and transformative. He believed that suffering is an inevitable part of life. But it is not suffering itself that diminishes us. It is the way we respond to suffering that determines its impact. For Frankl, the key to transforming suffering is to find meaning in it. While many people try to avoid or escape suffering, Frankl argued that it is through suffering that we can find the greatest depth of meaning. He famously said, "When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves." In his view, suffering has the potential to reveal a higher meaning, especially when we choose to see it as an opportunity for growth and transformation. Suffering, for Frankl, is not something to be feared or avoided. It is in fact a doorway to profound self-discovery. When we approach suffering with the right mindset, it can become a powerful tool for personal transformation. Through suffering, we can develop resilience, wisdom, and compassion, qualities that would be impossible to cultivate without facing adversity. Another critical insight from Frankl's work is the recognition that the search for meaning is deeply personal. What brings one person meaning might be different from what brings another person meaning. Frankl emphasized that there is no universal formula for finding purpose. The meaning of life is unique to each individual, and it is something we must discover for ourselves. This understanding liberates us from societal expectations that dictate what success or fulfillment should look like. Frankl argued that our search for meaning cannot be based on external standards. It must be grounded in what is meaningful to us personally. Whether it's creating something beautiful, helping others, nurturing relationships, or contributing to a cause, the path to meaning is as individual as the person walking it. For Frankl, this realization gave him a deep appreciation for the diversity of human experience. No two lives are the same, and neither should their search for meaning be. It is not about fitting into a mold, it's about living authentically and pursuing what is most important to us. The most powerful and transformative realization in Frankl's philosophy is that meaning is not something to be found. It is something we must actively create. This is where Frankl's teachings challenge conventional wisdom. So much of life is spent chasing external rewards, wealth, success, validation, yet these things do not provide lasting fulfillment. The true key to happiness and fulfillment is not in what you have, but in what you create from your inner purpose. Frankl's insight goes even further. When you find meaning, you transcend suffering. Meaning doesn't remove hardship, but it transforms your relationship to it. This is the essence of Frankl's legacy. The meaning of life is not something given to you. It is something you must find, create, and shape. Viktor Frankl's life and teachings offer a powerful framework for understanding how to live a truly meaningful life. In a world that often glorifies success, status, and external achievements, Frankl reminds us that meaning is the real source of fulfillment. It is not something to be found in material wealth, but something that emerges from within when we choose to face life with courage and purpose. His insights into suffering, choice, and the unique search for meaning can transform the way we experience life. The question is not how can we find meaning, but how can we create it? Meaning is not an external pursuit, it's an internal creation. To explore more ways to unlock the meaning in your own life, subscribe for more insights into how to transform your reality.